This year, we planted about 35,000 tulips. In this garden space where we are, there's 25,000 tulips. This is the Campanile Garden, the Margaret Pincus Campanile Garden, which is our largest annual display space. It has about 4,000 square feet of bedding space that we plant every single year with tulips. In this Campanile garden space, we have 4. The big red one that you see behind you is Red Impression, which is a Darwin. It's a slightly earlier flowering. And just coming on beneath it, there is 3 varieties of Triumph tulips. Paul Scher, which is kind of a really dark purple black, White Flag, which is white, and Carnival de Rio, which is a white with a red flame. And so those are a couple weeks behind the Red Impression that you see. In the other garden spaces, we have 16 cultivars. The most cultivars you'll find are in our brick walkway space, where we have a small display representing each one of the 15 divisions of tulips that you find. So spanning from species tulips, single earlies, all the way into your late season with the lily flowering and the fringe tulips. We do not breed any tulips here at Reiman Gardens. Tulip breeding is a long process. However, for the last about 3 years, we've been in conversation with our bulb supplier. They are a supplier and grower in the Netherlands. We've been talking with them about finding a tulip that hopefully soon we will be able to name and baptize as the Reiman Gardens tulip. But we haven't found the one quite yet. Tulips can last, if you have good weather, a couple of weeks. What really makes them last in your landscape is planting several of those divisions that I talked about, because some tulips can start blooming in late March. Other varieties, divisions of tulip will still be blooming in mid to late May. And so if you plant several different cultivars from each of these divisions, you can actually create a fairly long-lasting tulip display in your home landscape, which is usually what we do at Reiman Gardens. We expect that these will be blooming through, early May, and say maybe even up to Mother's Day. Each year, we start planning the spring display in the spring before. So right now, the horticulture staff is starting to throw around ideas of what we want the display to look like, colors, patterns, those kinds of ideas. We will finalize kind of design concepts in late June, because we order our bulbs in July. In order to have complete access to, or guaranteed access to the quantities and the cultivars that we want, the bulbs then are shipped to us from Holland every September, October, and we take possession of the bulbs usually the first week of October. It takes all horticulture staff, all of our student gardeners, inside and outside. It takes volunteers a solid week and a half to 2 weeks of planting to get all, whether it's 35,000 this year or upwards of 60,000 in other years, bulbs into the ground. And when the bulbs start to come up in the springtime, especially the tulips, because rodents and rabbits like to chew on tulips. They are tasty, so we do fence all of our beds for the first couple of weeks when we start seeing growth to keep them from nibbling the tops of the tulips. So, until the bulbs have, maybe 6 inches of green growth on them, we'll have them fenced. And then once they get a little bit bigger and less risk of the rabbits eating them, we'll take all the fences down. And then, of course, we get the beautiful display that you see right now. And when this is all done, it'll take us another week or so to dig out all of the bulbs in preparation for the next planting. My thoughts are just a passion and a love for spring bulbs. I love tulips and spring bulbs. If you've never been to Keukenhof, which is the bulb garden in the Netherlands, it should be on everybody's bucket list. It is an amazing garden, just a fantastic space. And so I love to try to bring a little bit of what I see there back to Reiman Gardens, be that new cultivars or a combination, share some of that joy that I feel visiting Keukenhof here at Reiman Gardens, because tulips and spring bulbs, they really are magical.